Buying real estate with no equity in the deals can be extremely profitable for the right real estate investor. Now, buying properties subject to the existing loan, which is an amazing technique to buy properties with zero equity in them, can be extremely profitable for you. And many people are not over the top clear about what exactly that means. So when you're buying a property subject to the existing financing, it simply means that you and the seller are going to go ahead and close on the property. The title is going to transfer to you or your company, because you're not going to be personally signing. So please make sure you have your corporation or your LLC set up. Also, the mortgage that is still on the property, that is still in the seller's name, is going to remain in the seller's name. Now, I know that may sound a bit crazy, but trust me, these deals are extremely profitable and we're doing them across the country. So if this is an extremely profitable technique, then where the heck do you find these deals? Well, I can tell you that they're right underneath your nose. We find these types of deals in 5 different places. So place number 1, expired listings. Expired listings is one of our bread and butter lead sources. Yes, I did just say bread and butter. Bread and butter lead sources. They have been 80 to 90% of our business over the last 7 to 8 years. What is an expired listing? Expired listing is when a property has went on the market with a seller and for one reason or another, the traditional market did not have it sell. So those are extremely motivated sellers because they're looking for additional ways to sell their property. Now, some expired listings could have come off the market specifically for the reason that there was no equity. A seller, if they were going to sell when there's no equity, would be coming out of pocket for the commission for the realtor. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine selling your own house and instead of receiving equity, receiving money, you have to pay somebody to do so? I can tell you we just purchased a property, had to have been about 30, 60 days ago from a seller that would have had to have paid $25,000 in order to sell their home. Now, we were able to go ahead and acquire it this way, and we're able to find a buyer that just needed time in order to qualify for a loan. And now we have a happy seller, a happy buyer that's working towards becoming a homeowner, and a happy real estate investment company because we have been able to create a profitable margin in it because of the terms of our agreement. Now, the second place that you can find these subject to deals is for sale by owners. Let's get inside the mind of a for sale by owner right now. And a for sale by owner certainly just means that the seller is selling the property on his own, is not utilizing a realtor. Why would a seller do that? A seller would do that for 2 reasons. 2 reasons that come to mind right now. I'm sure there's many of others. 2 reasons. 1, they do not want to pay the commission to a realtor. And number 2, maybe, just maybe, there is no equity to pay that realtor. So that's why it becomes such a great place and great lead source for you to be able to reach out to sellers and start having the conversation, start analyzing the property to see if this is a good deal for you. Number 3, wholesalers. Look, we don't do a ton of business with wholesalers. Honestly, we probably should do more. But wholesalers are in the trenches day in and day out, spending tens of thousands of dollars on marketing to attract sellers that have large amounts of equity in them. If the seller does not have equity in the deal, typically a wholesaler is going to get rid of that lead. That's going to become a dead lead. Well, now they have the ability to give that lead to somebody and to be able to make some money. So from the wholesaler standpoint, they're going to be able to start making leads that were dead profitable. From your standpoint, you're going to be able to be given leads, be fed leads that you didn't have to go out and search for. So that's a great symbiotic relationship, and it's going to be extremely profitable for you. So that's number 3. Number 4, realtors. Again, to our downfall, we do not spend enough time building relationships with realtors, but I can tell you there are some amazing deals out there to be had. Let's just use that exact same example of the seller that we purchased from that expired off the market that would have paid $25,000 in order to sell their property with a realtor. As you can imagine, that realtor conversation that we would have had if we reached out to them before it expired off the market couldn't have been a very different conversation, a very different outcome for that realtor. that realtor could have made some sort of referral money from that deal, even though they eventually lost it. Also, when a realtor is having these conversations, again, they're in the trenches looking for sellers that are looking to sell their property. If they have the ability to call on somebody like you, like that real estate investor that can buy properties subject to the existing financing, that do not care if there's any equity in the deal, anytime a realtor approaches a seller that there's zero equity in the deal, they could provide a solution like yourself, instead of morally and ethically asking the seller to go ahead and pay their commission. That could be another amazing symbiotic relationship. And lastly, number 5, targeted lists. Look, you can utilize lists like PropStream, and you can access a free trial if you just go to smartrealestatecoach.com/PropStream, and you can search for properties that have low equity in the deal. So just by looking at those targeted lists and utilizing databases like that, you can start looking for criteria that would indicate that a seller has little equity in the deal, which means that a subject to deal can be put together. Now, those are 5 places. Those aren't the only 5 places. And trust me, we purchase properties subject to the existing financing when there is equity in the deal as well. But the most common time that we utilize that technique is if there is zero equity in the deal. So that will be for another video where we dive in and we teach you how to buy real estate subject to the existing financing with additional owner financing as a second mortgage. If you are enjoying these videos, please make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this YouTube channel, as consistently we're diving into different techniques on how to buy and sell real estate without your own cash, without credit, and without your own banks.